Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a question that's really buzzing right now, especially if you're anywhere off the beaten path. Is Starlink actually good? We've gathered a whole stack of user data, expert takes, real-world tests, you name it, to really give you the full picture.
Yeah.
Our mission here really is to help you figure out if Starlink fits your specific needs. Maybe you're, out on the water or in a cabin somewhere remote, or maybe you're just curious about where internet tech is heading.
Absolutely. And that promise, high-speed internet, low latency, beamed from space by these low Earth orbit satellites, it's really compelling.
It is.
So we'll look at how it really performs, how reliable it is, what it actually costs, and what people using it are saying. Give you the full story.
Okay, so let's unpack that core tech first. What is Starlink fundamentally, and how is it different from the satellite internet maybe some people remember?
Right. So Starlink is SpaceX's satellite internet service. The key thing, the massive difference, is it uses low Earth orbit satellites, LEO.
LEO, okay.
These orbit at 350 miles up. Compare that to traditional geostationary satellites. They're way out there, 22,000 miles away.
Wow, okay. That's a huge difference.
It's enormous. And that closeness, that reduced altitude, is absolutely crucial. It's what slashes the latency, the delay.
Latency, right. That's the big killer for old satellite internet, wasn't it? Makes things feel so slow.
Exactly. So what does this mean in actual numbers?
Yeah, what are we looking at?
Well, the performance figures are pretty impressive. Download speeds you're seeing anywhere from, say, 40 up to over 450 megabits per second.
That's fast.
Yeah. Uploads maybe 8 to 75 Mbps. And the latency, that delay, is down to 20 to 50 milliseconds. It's a whole different world.
Okay, 20 to 50 milliseconds. That's comparable to ground-based internet, almost.
Pretty much, yeah. Much closer to cable or fiber than old satellite. And the gear, it's actually quite neat. A flat high-performance antenna, your router, and the cables you need.
So for anyone in those tricky spots, rural areas, boats, RVs, where good internet just isn't available, this sounds like, potentially revolutionary.
It really can be, yeah.
Okay, but let's get into the nitty-gritty. Numbers on paper are one thing, but how does it hold up in the real world? Different places, different conditions. This is where it gets interesting, right?
Absolutely. And the data, especially with that flat high-performance kit, is pretty consistent. So take a typical suburban house setup. You might see around 150 down, 20 up, 30 milliseconds latency. Pretty solid.
Okay. Standard stuff.
But where it really comes into its own is when you're mobile or remote. On a yacht, say 5 miles off the coast, we're seeing tests around 180 down, 18 up, 25 milliseconds.
Wow, 180 offshore. That's great for streaming, video calls, everything.
Totally. Perfect for that kind of use. And we've heard stories backing this up, too.
Yeah, I heard about Captain Lee, right? Doing smooth video conferences crossing to the Bahamas. Getting speeds around 100 millipede. That's a game changer at sea.
It really is. And even further out, say 50 miles offshore, you're still looking at maybe 140 down, 10 up, 40 milliseconds latency.
Still very usable for remote work, emails, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And then true open ocean, 200 miles out, maybe 120 down, 8 up, 50 milliseconds latency. Still plenty for navigation updates, weather, basic comms.
And the coverage itself is getting better all the time.
Oh, yeah, expanding rapidly. Most populated areas are covered. Huge swaths of ocean, too. They're launching more satellites constantly. And users generally report really high availability, like over 99%, unless you hit really bad weather or there's maintenance.
Okay, you mentioned weather. That's the next question, isn't it? What about rain? What about physical obstacles? Can things mess with the signal?
Yeah, those are definitely things to consider. Like any satellite signal, Starlink can suffer from rain fade.
Rain fade, right.
Basically, really heavy rain, dense clouds can absorb and scatter the radio waves. You might see speeds drop, maybe by around 30% in a downpour.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily cut out, but it slows down.
Typically, yes. And then obstructions, that's the other big one. The dish needs a clear view of the sky to track the satellites. So things like boat masts, tall buildings nearby, mountains, even just large trees or overhangs can block the signal.
Right. So if you absolutely need it to be online for critical stuff, or you just hate buffering, what do you do? How do you guarantee that connection?
That's where having a backup makes a lot of sense. Redundancy is key for critical use. A really good strategy is to pair Starlink with a cellular connection, like LTE or 5G.
Ah, okay. Use both.
Yeah, often with a special router or a device, something like the MDS Blender, that can automatically switch between them. So if Starlink signal dips because of rain or a temporary blockage, it instantly fails over to the cellular signal.
Seamlessly.
Ideally, yes. Keeps you online without interruption.
Got it. Okay, so if someone's thinking, all right, this sounds interesting, what's involved in getting it set up? Is it a DIY thing, or do you need professional help? And what about keeping it running?
It's actually designed to be pretty straightforward. It arrives as a kit. You get the antenna, the router, the cables. The activation itself, using the Starlink app, is super quick, like under 10 minutes.
Right.
But while you can set it up yourself, professional installation is often recommended, especially if you're putting it on a boat, an RV, or even just a tricky roof line.
Makes sense. Getting that placement right for the clear sky view is important, I guess.
Exactly. It needs to be mounted securely, usually somewhere high up, clear of obstructions. Then you just connect the modem router inside.
And ongoing maintenance. Does the dish need cleaning or anything?
Not much, really. It's built to withstand the elements. It actually has anti-ice and self-heating features built in, so it can melt snow and light ice to keep the signal clear in most conditions. Pretty clever.
Okay, that's good to know. So let's zoom out again. The big picture. Pros and cons. What are the main highlights and the main drawbacks people need to weigh up?
All right. Pros. Definitely the high speeds, great for streaming, remote work, even IoT stuff.
Yeah.
The low latency is a huge plus for anything real-time like video calls or gaming.
Right.
The global reach is expanding constantly. And the hardware is compact and relatively easy to set up, especially compared to older satellite systems.
Okay.
And the cons. Performance can vary, especially in heavy rain or if you have obstructions blocking that sky view.
We talked about that.
Right. There's a significant upfront cost for the hardware. That flat high-performance kit Gen 2 is around $1,500, plus another couple hundred for the router.
Okay, so it's an investment.
Definitely. And the monthly service fees aren't trivial either. The priority service plans, which you often need for mobile use, start at around $350 per month. And again, that absolute need for a clear view of the sky.
Got it. So cost and potential variability are the main watchouts. How does this actually compare then to the alternatives? Like if you're on a boat, what else would you even consider?
Yeah, this comparison is really revealing. Let's take VSAT, the traditional geostationary satellite option. You're usually getting maybe 5 to 20 millips download speeds, but the latency is huge, like 600 to 900 milliseconds.
Ouch.
Yeah. And monthly costs can easily top $1,000. So Starlink blows it out of the water on speed and latency.
Clearly. What about cellular, 4G, or 5G?
Cellular can be fast, sure. Speeds can be similar to Starlink, maybe 50 to 500 down, latency 30 to 80 milliseconds. But the big limitation is range. It's basically coastal only or near towns.
Right. Once you're offshore, it's gone.
Exactly. Starlink works way further out. Cellular costs vary, maybe $100 to $750 a month, depending on the plan and data. And then you have fiber on land.
The gold standard.
Right. Fastest speeds, 100 to 1,000 millips plus. Lowest latency, 2 to 20 milliseconds. Cheapest monthly cost, maybe $50 to $100. But it's wired. It only exists where the cables run, mostly urban and suburban areas.
But when you line them all up like that, yeah, you can really see the niche Starlink fills.
Yeah.
For anyone mobile or remote, it seems like the clear winner in terms of balancing speed, latency, and coverage.
It really is the best all-around choice currently available for those specific users. Yeah, it bridges a huge gap.
Okay, so given all that, let's nail it down. Who is this technology really for? Who should be seriously considering Starlink right now?
I'd say there are a few key groups. Definitely yacht owners and captains. It provides reliable internet far from shore for navigation, critical safety comms, weather data, but also, keeping guests happy with streaming and connectivity.
Sure, guest expectations are high these days.
They are. Second group, remote workers and RV enthusiasts. People living or traveling in rural areas or adopting that nomadic lifestyle. Starlink gives them high-speed internet almost anywhere, making that lifestyle truly viable.
Enables the digital nomad dream, basically.
Pretty much. Third, emergency and field operations. Think disaster response, scientific research in remote areas. Starlink allows for rapid setup of reliable comms where normal networks are down or non-existent.
Equal communications, yeah.
And finally, small businesses, maybe even larger ones, in areas prone to outages or just needing a solid backup. Starlink can provide that crucial business continuity link.
Right, as that failover option we discussed.
Exactly.
Makes total sense. And a quick practical question that comes up a lot, especially for the marine side. Does it actually work while you're moving? like on a boat underway.
Yes, absolutely. That's a key design feature, particularly of the marine flat antenna. It electronically steers its beam to track the satellites in real time, so it maintains connection even while the vessel is moving, pitching, rolling.
Impressive. And the reliability holds up while moving.
Users generally report that same high availability, over 99%, even underway. One thing for boat owners, though. Just remember to check local rules. Some countries require specific licenses for using marine satellite terminals in their waters.
Good tip. And managing data. Is it unlimited, or do you need to watch your usage?
There are different plans, some with priority data caps, others more generous. You can track your usage easily in the Starlink app. Or, again, if you're using a more advanced setup like that MDS Blender, you can get much finer control over which apps use which data, manage caps, that kind of thing.
Right, for optimizing cost or prioritizing traffic. Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the final verdict from our deep dive? Is Starlink good?
I think the evidence shows it's genuinely delivering a transformative experience, particularly for those maritime and remote users. It really does change the game.
Yeah, it seems like it. There are caveats, of course, the upfront cost, the potential for weather interference, the need for that clear sky view. But the performance, the low latency, the expanding reach, it clearly surpasses the older options.
Without a doubt. For those critical uses, navigation, safety at sea, remote work, business continuity, even just staying connected far from civilization, Starlink really stands out. It's an excellent choice, often the only viable high-performance choice.
It really feels like this isn't just about, faster internet. It's fundamentally changing the map of connectivity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Opening up places and possibilities that were previously disconnected.
Absolutely, democratizing access in a way.
So the thought to leave you with is, as these satellite constellations keep growing, getting denser, maybe even faster, what new frontiers does this unlock? What happens to innovation, safety, or just basic human connection when high-speed internet becomes truly ubiquitous, no matter how far off the grid you go?
Yeah.
What does remote even mean anymore?